Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and if you're here for the very first time, you are really welcome. I'm Jane and my husband Mike is behind the camera. We're British, early retirees, we've got no debt, we've paid off the mortgage and we live a thrifty, frugal and money-saving life here in Brittany in northwest France, and every Wednesday we bring you a mid-week money chat. Now this Wednesday, first Wednesday in April, we're going to share with you our actual budget, exactly penny for penny, everything that it is. And we share our budget because we want to encourage you to budget. And I know for some of you, it's something that you do in your own way, but you might be interested to see how somebody else budgets. You might be interested to know, what does it cost to live in France if you are frugal? And that's something I want you to bear in mind when you watch this budgeting video today. Because I often get people coming back to me saying things like, oh, your electricity is very cheap. It is because we are frugal with it. They'll say things such as, your health insurance is very low. Yes, because we choose a very low cost insurance. Things that are undeniably cheaper here in mainland Europe, for example, mobile phones or cell phones, they are much cheaper than American prices, and we know that you share that with us. So we hope that you enjoy the video. If there's anything you feel that I haven't covered that you would like to leave a question about, and I will answer that in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video today, make sure that you hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, and let's take a look at our budget for April. Before I share all of our figures and all of our income for April of this year, I'm going to give you some context so you can think about where our income is in relation to other incomes here in France. The average French income based on the 2023 figures net is 2,340 each person, or 4,680 as a couple working and both earning an average income. Back in the UK, when Mike and I worked there, Mike and I, as UK workers, both earned average incomes. And that's obviously different amounts than French incomes. Something else to give you some context. French minimum wage income with the January 2024 increase net is 1,398 each, or 2,796 as a couple. And French minimum wage, like minimum wage in the UK or minimum wage in the US, really isn't a lot of money. We also want to share with you that we have a variable income. Our income comes from 2 UK occupational pensions. An occupational pension in the UK is different from the UK state pension. Very different from something like the USA's Social Security. An occupational pension, which many countries no longer have, is where you salary sacrifice 10% of your income in the UK each month. That income is not taxed, and that goes into a pension fund, and then you get that money back as a monthly sum of money as a pension when you retire. Or, as we did, we took our pension as a reduced pension at 55 years old. It's now changed in the UK to 57 years old, so we just got in there luckily at that age. So here's our variable incomes. In January, our income was 2,721. February, big drop down to 2,031. In March, it was back up a bit, 2,429. And April bounced back again to 2,641. And that difference comes from some of our income is our pension, and some of our income is from our YouTube earnings. And obviously the algorithm, who's watching, who wants to watch something about frugal living, changes throughout the year, and it can go up and it can come down. If you wish to support the channel in any way and you enjoy what you watch here today, just let a couple of the advertisements roll. It all helps us YouTube creators. Before I get into this slide, let's talk about the way that we get paid. So the money that we earn in February, we receive it in March, and that becomes the money that we live off in April. And we don't receive all of that money in one go. We receive that money on the 15th, on the 22nd, and on the last day of the month. So you can see how that money has to be held over. So what do we do when we get paid? And that means when the last of the payments come in, and then we can start moving it into accounts. We save first. So always at least 10% into long-term savings. So on that previous slide, when you saw the smallest amount of money that we earned there, at least 10% goes into long-term savings. But on better months, it could be 15%, or as you will see today, on a much better month, it's 20%. And that goes into an accessible account on top of our emergency fund. And people ask me all the time, what are we long-term saving for? Partly, as you can see, we save towards a car because we pay cash for cars, but also for our long-term savings, our projects around the house. A bit of our roof needs replacing, we've got some work to do on our property, upkeep, maintenance, and also the unknown, because you nor I have a crystal ball. So we save towards our next new to us car, and each year we aim to save $2,500 towards that fund. And then we have annual expenditure such as property tax, business tax, car maintenance, garden maintenance, home maintenance, clothing, Christmas, birthday gifts, pet care and veterinary care. And then we have the totals of those. We divide that by 12 and we save that amount each month. We have a separate account for our sinking funds or our short-term savings. So on payday, we have this ritual where we've got our budget written down and we move all the right money to all the right accounts and leave our living costs in our current account. Let's run through our living costs, our everyday expenses. You might be interested to know, what does it cost to live in France? How much do you need to live off if you're retired and living in France? First of all, we have our supermarket budget of €400. Our supermarket is for everything, all food, all drink, all coffee, all tea, all milk, all drinks, everything that we need for toiletries, cleaning products, laundry products, toiletries, bathroom tissue, everything that we would get from the supermarket. And then we have €80 a month for car fuel. I know people are going to say, well, I wish I could get away with so little as that. We are retired, and when we work from home. We then have gas bottles, butane gas bottles. We have a butane gas cooker. We have 2 butane gas heaters, one for Mike's office and one for my sewing room. And we could replace 1 or 2 of those at any one time. And that's the worst case scenario, that it would be 80. And then we have health insurance. And I know lots of you turn around and go, oh, I wish my health insurance was as low as your health insurance. Remember, on the income that we earn from YouTube, our earned income, 22% of gross of that goes to our social security payment, which pays for healthcare, which goes towards a pension and goes towards to any kind of social security payments. Social security payments would be things such as maternity leave or sickness benefits. And then we have our home insurance, which is not in here, but I put it in because people will ask about it. We pay for that annually, and that amount is saved in the sinking funds. And then we have Bouygues Telecom, which is my mobile phone and 1 internet package, home internet package. That's $44 a month. And we have Mike's mobile phone with Reglo Mobile, and that's €10 a month. Then we have the bank charge of $12 a month. Pet food of $50 a month. Orange, which supplies another internet, TV and home package. It's all in one. So if you want the home phone, you get internet and TV with that, and that's $26 a month. We then have our electricity bill, which is run by EDF, Electricité de France. That is 100 a month. That's the maximum we've ever spent in a month. In January and February we spent, and maybe March, we spent 100 a month. But most months and throughout the summer it will be a lot less than that, and it adjusts over the year. We then have Les Pouces, which is a local charity. I go along to their craft group once a week. That's €5 a week. That's €20 a month. And then we've got beauty. I have my eyebrows and face waxed each month, and I round that figure up as a small gratuity up to 25 a month. And then we have our iTunes storage, which is €6 a month. So our total living costs for April is €1,034, which is the equivalent to $1,115. And I know some of you are going to think that these figures look extraordinarily low. Well, they are intentionally low. We intentionally choose to spend less at the supermarket. We intentionally choose to use our car less. We are frugal, we are thrifty, and we are money savers. So please do not think that this is an indication of what it costs to live in France for absolutely everyone. This is what it costs to retired, stay at home, thrifty, frugal, money saving people. Let's look here then at our savings from this month's income. Our long-term savings this month, because we got a good income this month, is 20% of 2,641, which is €538. Our long-term car savings, as normal, is 200 a month. And our sinking funds for our annual expenses work out at €686 a month. So our total savings, and don't forget that's not all just money that is spare. Those 200 a month, that's like having a bill for your car, and having that 686, that is absolutely expenditure we have to pay this year. Our total savings amounts to €1,424, which is equivalent to $1,535. Let's break down this budget. We have the money coming in of 2,641, which, like we explained to you earlier, is some of our UK occupational pensions and some of the money that we earn here by being YouTube creators. We take off the living expenses of 1,034. We take off the car savings of 200. We take off the long-term savings of 20% of 528. We take off the annual bills, the sinking funds of 686. That's a subtotal of 2,448. So the balance from the income is €193 spare. And what we do with that is we leave it in our main account if we need it. And we call that our buffer. I'd like to point out to you the things that are not in our budget. We don't have a socialising budget. We don't have a going bowling budget. We don't have a going to the movies budget. We don't have that kind of money. So when we socialise, we do it for free. We go and visit friends at their house, or they'll come to our house. We don't have any money for eating out or going out for coffees. So a zero for that. We don't have any housing costs. We're both 58 years old. We paid off our mortgage before we left the UK. And then when we sold the house and we came here, we didn't have a mortgage. It's one of those things of being old. So we don't have any housing costs. We've paid off the mortgage. We don't have any streaming services or entertainment or anything like that. So other than the internet, and we find we get all the entertainment for free from places like YouTube. So there isn't any money again, no discretionary spending again for April. So we had February, March and April again, so we're up to 3 months now of no spend months. And that's not because we're being mean or because we're being tight-fisted or that we're misery guts or anything like that. It's just we are mature, sensible savers, and if there isn't any money spare, we suck that up. There isn't any money spare. So throughout the month that means there is no spending of any money that isn't budgeted for. And I thought I needed to add that in at the end, just in case you had any questions about that. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button. Love it if you could leave us a comment or a question about our budget that you saw here today. We love all your comments. We read every one, and I know you all enjoy reading the comments too, because you have like little chats with each other, and that is just lovely. And we'll see you soon. Bye for now.